Now, the final thing that I wanted to show you, and this Benny spoke about yesterday as well, but I want to show you a source, one example of this. Why haven't the Palestinians, why haven't all the countries of the world, the Arab countries, done anything to solve the refugee problem? Millions and millions of refugees left other countries since 1945, after World War II, and in many wars since then, and they've always been absorbed. The only ones who have not created new lives for themselves have been the Palestinians. The only ones. Everyone else has disappeared. Now I want to show you why. Because Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, and even the ones in the West Bank and Gaza were forced against their will by their leaders to stay in refugee camps. In Lebanon, for example, there are laws that someone can't work outside a refugee camp and can't hold a job and can't even buy a home. If a relative wanted to give a refugee in Lebanon money to buy a home in Lebanon, they wouldn't be allowed to move out. They are imprisoned by the political needs of the Lebanese government, which is to hate Israel. So this is what's going to create refugees, or the refugees would hate. It's another example of the leadership causing the people to suffer and then saying, let's blame Israel. Well, I want to show you one source on this. And this is from Palestinian newspaper, Al-Jadida. And this was about the time that they were going to have elections in the Palestinian Authority. And look what the Palestinian Authority voted or decided. The Supreme National Committee for the Protection of the Rights of the Return, meaning the return to Israel, announced yesterday that it opposes the participation of the refugee camps in the local elections that are expected to take place in the Palestinian territories. In other words, Arabs living in Gaza in a refugee camp can't vote in the Gaza local elections, is what they're saying. The committee justified its objection as protecting the unique status of the refugee camps in Gaza and the West Bank, considering them testimony to the crime that was occupation state has committed against our nation 56 years. The committee warned of the dangers of integrating the refugee camps into the urban housing units. Palestinians admitting that they're forcing their people not to be integrated into housing, forcing them to stay in refugee camps. And why? They're doing it in the name of what they call protecting the unique status of the refugee camps. The refugee camp is more important than the refugees. The refugee camp is a political tool for them. We don't care about the people. Let them suffer. This is their own leadership. Let them suffer. Don't allow them to have housing. So that both the creation of the refugee problem was the Palestinian leadership, the Arab leadership, and the continuation of the problem is the Arab leadership as well, because they want the camps to continue even if the refugees themselves are the ones to suffer. Now, what I just want to end with, before we open up, is Morton mentioned this before, and it was such a great success that Morton and MIFF helped organize last year. On my last trip after I was here, I had a series of meetings with members of parliament and also with television, again, that you were very, very gracious to arrange for us. And I want to show you, this was Channel 2 News opening its news a few days after I was here, and afterwards hopefully we'll have time for questions.
Norske skattepenger brukes til å lære barn å hate Vesten, mener Fremskrittspartiet. Ja, god kveld. Fremskrittspartiet krever at Norge fryser alle overføringer til de palestinske områdene. Partiet frykter at norske skattepenger sponser palestinsk TV-produksjon som lærer barn å hate Israel og Vesten.
På palestinsk barne-TV heter Mickey Mouse Farfur. Han vil erobre verden for islam, og den koselige kanin vil drepe dansker på grunn av Muhammed-karikaturene. Israel-venner har invitert Itamar Marcus til Norge. Han følger palestinsk TV, og siste nytt er at Mickey Mouse er død, drept på barne-TV.
Okay, I don't have to show you my interview, but I want to show you the interview at the end with the member of parliament.
Det blir direkte kvalma, vil jeg si. Og man kan nesten bli på gråten når man hører en slags type hatformidling.
Tybring-Gjedde i Stortingets finanskomité frykter at norske bistandskroner kan havne i TV-produksjoner som dette, som sier at menn som offrer livet blir møtt av 72 jomfruer i paradis.
Jeg synes at Norge umiddelbart bør fryse all bistand til de palestinske områdene. Så får vi gå gjennom og se hvor hver eneste krone blir av.
If all of the countries who gave financial support to the Palestinian Authority would condition it on peace education, I think we would turn the situation around very quickly.
Utenriksminister Jonas Gahr Støre vil ikke fryse bistanden til Palestina og avvise FrP sin kritikk. Støre mener det ikke er grunnlag for kravet om større kontroll over hva bistandskronene blir av.
Okay, he goes on and he says some more things. I just want to show you the one final, and he ends the report as following. In any case, that's the basic gist. It was a tremendous success because it exposed for the first time that it was not only these terrible things happening on Palestinian TV, but it was Norwegian money likewise that was funding this. And later on, we actually produced a full report which documented exactly how Norwegian money was responsible for this. And it had a very, very nice impact in Parliament, and I spoke in Parliament to the entire Progress Party. In any case, this is the message, and this is what I wanted to show you about the refugees and about history in general. History is not just about the past. What we see is that the Palestinians have built an entire hate world all based on a false history. And it's not just about the past, it's because of that false history they say they therefore have a right to destroy Israel in the future. So it seems like it's just history. It's very critical. The story, the true story of how the refugees became refugees must be told. The true story of how Israel created must be told. And the true story of the rights of the Jewish people in the land of Israel, to the land of Israel, also have to be told, so that ultimately the world will recognize and accept Israel's right to exist. Not just Israel and not just the world, but even eventually the Arab Palestinians will accept Israel's right to exist. Once they do accept Israel's right to exist, I think that will be the first step toward a peace process and hopefully toward having peace with our neighbors. Thank you.